As I said earlier, this has been a very unusually intense few months for ICANN and for the entire internet community. Probably no one has been involved more intensely than our President and CEO, Fadi Shahadi. For those of you who like to brag about how much travel you've done in the course of a year, don't even try. Fadi's first year, and it's remarkable to think that it's only been 1 year, has been marked by real and successful efforts to make our organization a truly international one, like the internet itself. Fadi's defined by his drive, his energy, and unmatched commitment to both ICANN and its community. Fadi, the floor is yours.
Buenos dias, Ministro Abel Medina, Dr. Justice, all of you, welcome to ICANN. I think it's appropriate we start by doing a little history. In August 1998, in this very city, Buenos Aires, a very important seminal meeting in the history of ICANN happened here. It actually caused the creation of ICANN. Many of you in this room, I know, were here. And we thank you for that, because today we are reaping the fruit of the hard work that people started in the city. So it's very important that we start our day and our week by recognizing the Latin American and Argentinian contributions to the creation of ICANN that get us here today. So we will start with a short video of some of the pioneers that actually led us here today from this great region. But before I do that, I want to recognize the people who are in this room from this region. May I ask all the Latin Americans to stand up? Gracias. Muchas gracias. Obrigado. Let's watch the video.
Muchos de nosotros habíamos vivido en el extranjero durante la dictadura y cuando regresamos, yo regresé en el año 87, sentimos la necesidad de mantener la comunicación con los lugares donde habíamos trabajado, los lugares donde habíamos estudiado, e Internet fue un factor realmente importante para todos nosotros.
The early period of the Internet in the Caribbean was largely driven by a project sponsored by the Organization of American States, the OAS.
A partir de entonces fue una cosa mucho más profesional, empezamos a usar el nombre Nick Chile, que antes tampoco aparecía.
El desarrollo de Internet en Chile hizo que el interés por los nombres de dominio creciera.
É fundamental que a internet continue uma iniciativa multi-stakeholder, ou seja, multiparticipativa de todos os setores da sociedade, e que ela não tenha, como nunca teve, um dono específico.
Y otro punto que nos interesaba y que habíamos decidido nosotros era de participar activamente en la gobernanza de Internet.
Las discusiones giraban alrededor de qué entidad podía surgir para llevar a cabo la descentralización de la gobernanza de Internet.
Paralelamente a la situación de prehistoria de ICANN, en la región estábamos haciendo nuestros propios esfuerzos de coordinación, de creación de todas estas estructuras, de estas organizaciones. Una de ellas era LACTLD.
A lo largo de los años yo tuve la oportunidad de ser electo en el primer consejo directivo electo, en el 99. Permanecí en el consejo directivo de ICANN durante 8 años, 6 de ellos fui vicepresidente. Me tocó la formación del comité de gobernanza, de varios comités internos.
Y fuimos víctimas de nuestro éxito, porque la gente estaba tan contenta, todos con la aprobación de este registro regional, que era la primera vez que sucedía algo así, que fueron como 100 personas.
Lo que sí me atrapó fue la energía que vi de toda la gente, y dije, yo quiero ser parte de este grupo de gente, quiero ser parte de esta comunidad.
Un momento clave porque fue un lugar donde por un lado se reconoció una definición de gobernanza de Internet y por otro lado, y creo que ese fue el valor más importante de la cumbre, gobiernos de países en desarrollo comenzaron a entender más la necesidad de involucrarse y entender mejor el mundo de Internet.
En ese momento llovía en San Pablo y la elección se tuvo que hacer con algunos representantes menos. Eso hizo ese acto de Dios, la lluvia, la inundación en San Pablo, que al final terminara siendo electo quien les habla como representante de la región.
Sigo emocional y conceptualmente conectado con estas necesidades de los usuarios de Internet de América Latina y el Caribe, y en particular con la visión que expresan en las organizaciones del ecosistema.
El llamado modelo multi-stakeholder, realmente demostrar la necesidad de que en Internet las decisiones no se pueden tomar solo por una parte, sino tienen que involucrarse todos los que estén interesados.
Siendo El Salvador un país pequeño en Centroamérica, creo que tanto el país como este servidor nos gustaría agradecer a nuestros hermanos y colegas latinoamericanos, puesto que hemos recibido un gran apoyo y amistad durante todos estos años, desde la conformación de la TLD, de Red Clara, la CNIC, ICANN, ISOC y otras organizaciones que se encuentran coincidentemente en la Casa de Internet de América Latina y el Caribe.
Parecía algo titánico. Al principio fue como un efecto depresivo, decir, uy, pensamos que ya estábamos terminando y esto recién empieza. Pero realmente fue una aventura muy interesante, porque hacer que todo eso funcionara fue muy gratificante, y viendo cómo avanzábamos y realmente convertíamos todas aquellas discusiones de horas en distintas partes de la región, entre mucha gente, cómo le íbamos convirtiendo en cosas concretas.
Pleasure to see so many friends honored and vocal in that video. The people in the video, the pioneers, are some of the people who helped define the internet as it is today. 15 years ago when we began ICANN, it was an experiment framed in hope, and hope that this unusual experiment in governance that included all voices would somehow work. We're now a decade and a half later, and we can say quite safely that it not only worked, but it has prospered. We've come a very long way in 15 years. And we're continuing to mature the organization at a dramatic rate. I mentioned a couple of specific points, and there are many, many more that occur on a regular basis. Every now and then we need to take a breath and remember where we began, and to think about where it is we want to go in the future, and figure how we want to define ourselves as we go forward. Some of us, like myself, are from a technical background. Others serve in government. Others are simply unaffiliated internet users. I think they are probably the most important group in the sense that they're not a group at all, they're everybody. We care very deeply about the internet. We sincerely hope that we also care about one another. And sometimes in the hectic craziness to arrival of our goals, to reach our goals, we forget about the people with whom we are traveling. So it's my sincere hope that empathy and compassion will not be forgotten as we collectively take the journey to Internet's future. And let me drill down just a little bit in that. We are actively and vigorously creating institutions. And I don't know about you, but to me the word institution carries a number of connotations, not all of which are warm and friendly. You know, one of the sayings in the U.S. As a kind of a joke is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. In a very real sense, we have the unusual opportunity to try to build institutions that are not so institutional, and trying to build in a sense of warmth and compassion and indeed empathy, while we also build in strong processes, strong execution, proper management of resources, and all of the other things that need to go into making the system work and to work robustly for all of us are important. But at the same time, we need to take not just a moment, but multiple moments along the way to see where it is that we can shape what we're doing so that we retain the humanness and the involvement of each other, and a strong sense that we're all in this together, as opposed to this is what we do and everybody else is kind of on the outside. It's been said repeatedly that nothing man has ever created has brought us together as much as the internet. I only hope that the community people that we recognize, as a community people, we recognize the ultimate value of the human element, and that our interactions will always be framed with respect, courtesy, collaboration, compassion, and empathy. To that end, we are launching a pilot program to recognize those ICANN participants who have deeply invested in consensus-based solutions and demonstrated community service as a whole. I would like to call on my colleague, Sebastian Bachelet. Come on up, Sebastian. Who will tell you a bit more about a program that we are initiating to acknowledge community members who have done so much. Sebastian? Thanks.
Gracias, señor presidente. Hola, llegó hace una semana en Buenos Aires, pero no tenía mucho tiempo para visitar la ciudad ya. El miércoles empezamos con el Leadership Program, Training Program, involucrando representantes de todas las partes de la organización. Al principio de sus palabras, el Dr. Steve Cocker habla de la ICANN Academy. Fue fortuno de estar uno de los estudiantes de esta academia. Esta mañana fue al Fellowship Program, un programa extraordinario para dar la bienvenida a algunos de los nuevos miembros de la comunidad. Ahora en inglés. The new ICANN Multi-Stakeholder Ethos Award is also looking for candidates who recognize and demonstrate the actual spirit of collaboration and shown through empathy and a sincere desire to engage with those who from other background, culture, and interests. These people will have demonstrated time and again their willingness to reach out to new people, to listen and respectfully engage others who didn't have the same viewpoint or interest. We will be searching for people who value dialogue as a vehicle that will carry us to consensus. That's a very important word in our organization. But like everything at ICANN, you, the community, we will ask you to help us to define this award. We will soon post a draft criteria for public comment. It's our hope you will weigh in and participate for the establishment of criteria that we seek in defining our collective ethos. We are asking the chair of each of the advisory committees and supporting organizations to serve as the first evaluation panel of the Multi-Stakeholder Ethos Award to be presented at the next meeting, ICANN 49 in Singapore. Please help make this pilot program a success, and in the process, let's reinforce a system of human interaction that will help make our bottom-up, multicultural, equal multi-stakeholder implementation a success. Last some word in French. C'est ma langue maternelle, c'est un tout petit peu plus facile. Mais les histoires de langue sont essentielles. Oui, l'anglais est la langue majoritaire ici, mais faisons tous un effort pour être compris de l'autre. Être compris de l'autre, c'est de temps en temps, quand on est un native English speaker, quand on parle anglais de façon avec sa langue maternelle, de faire un effort pour être compris de l'autre. Et de la même façon, c'est pour ça que j'ai commencé en espagnol, qui n'est ni ma langue maternelle, ni la langue principale de cette organisation. Je voudrais vous remercier pour votre engagement profond, informé, essentiel dans cette organisation. Bienvenue aux participants, aux nouveaux participants. Je suis sûr que tous ceux qui sont engagés dans l'ICANN depuis 1 an, 10 ans, 15 ans, voire plus, non, c'est seulement le 15e anniversaire, mais depuis longtemps, les accueilleront à bras ouverts. Nous pourrons ainsi développer ensemble notre ethos. Merci Steve de m'avoir donné l'opportunité de présenter cet award. Merci et bonne réunion à tous. Hasta luego.
Sebastian, merci, gracias, thank you. It's my honor now to introduce you again to Fadi Shahadi, who will acknowledge yet another valued friend, major contributor to the ICANN community. Fadi.
Awards are good to celebrate the great community we have. You just heard that we are launching the Ethos Award, which is really for all of us, for our community, for our volunteers to be recognized. And I hope that we work together, bottom up, to pick together the awardees in the years to come. But today I also want to introduce another award. This is a yearly award. We will call it the ICANN Leadership Award. This award will be given to outstanding individuals who have demonstrated extraordinary generosity of time, energy, knowledge, and most of all, leadership in our community. Leadership to protect ICANN's multi-stakeholder model. We will look for people who remain true to that model while running their day jobs and their professional interests. And we will pick people who worked very closely and collegially in partnership with the ICANN leadership team and staff to promote innovation in the evolution of the internet. This award recipient, once a year, will be determined by the ICANN leadership team, and I believe that we are in a unique position to do that. The only requirement is that we have to unanimously agree on the person. And for this year, for the very first ICANN Leadership Award, the ICANN team has unanimously agreed that Leslie Cowley will be our first ICANN Leadership Awardee. Leslie Cowley, as many of you know, is the CEO of Nominet, the United Kingdom's CCTLD manager, and she's also a CCNSO counselor. As if leading Nominet wasn't enough, you all know how much Leslie has put into this community. she has showed tirelessly her commitment to our model, her commitment to the multi-stakeholder success of ICANN. She has been very instrumental in improving the relationship between ICANN and the various SOs and ACs, as well as building tremendous trust with the CCTLD community. And finally, as you all know, Leslie has had a big role and a member of the DNS Women. I've never been invited to the DNS Women, but I understand there's a nice group that meets secretly, or not so secretly from men, I guess, called the DNS Women. And I actually saw a picture of your meeting this morning that looked lovely. But thank you, Leslie, for being such a leader. And this award is a specially created glass sculpture that you see there to my left. It was sent to Leslie. Leslie unfortunately couldn't be here today, but we will hear from her now. Let's hear Leslie.
Good morning, and I'm so sorry that I'm not able to be there with you in person this morning. This will be the first of many, many ICANN meetings that I've not been able to attend in person, and although I'm planning to participate remotely, it does seem that my plan for my attendance to go unnoticed has suffered a major glitch. I understand that Fadi will have said some very kind and flattering words just now, for which I'd like to say a sincere thank you. And it's a great honour to me to receive this very first ICANN award for leadership. At a time when this sector is under the spotlight and going through huge change and challenge, and some opportunities too, it's good to talk about leadership. And leadership, in my experience, in this sector, can often be a challenge. There's no shortage of commentators and critics, together with the odd troll or two thrown in for good measure. But leaders are important in terms of setting direction and in terms of getting the right people on the bus for the journey we're embarking upon. And I have to say it's been a privilege and a pleasure for me to have a leadership role in this sector. I've had the great opportunity to lead some fantastic teams, both at Nominet and at ICANN and in the CCNSO. And I've led some teams of incredibly professional and dedicated people who are hugely committed to the multi-stakeholder model and to serving the many stakeholders we serve and making a positive difference to the internet. Today, I'd like to dedicate this award to them because leadership would not have been possible without those great people and the great teams. Thank you.
Congratulations to Leslie, and we miss her here today. But as you know, Leslie hasn't missed many of these meetings. This was a special reason she had to stay back in the UK for. Congratulations. Many of you have been hearing about our internationalization plans, making ICANN a global community, a global organization. There's a lot of work that goes on into that. You've seen me recently in India announce an initiative with our friends there. Today, however, I'm here to announce another important milestone in internationalizing ICANN. We have been working very closely with Korea, with the Korean Internet and Security Agency, as many of you know it as KISA. We have looked for ways to collaborate more closely with KISA, and I'm happy to tell you today that here in Buenos Aires, we have just signed an MOU which will formalize our collaborative relationship with Korea. The MOU is a testament to the close relationship between ICANN and Korea, a global leader in the ICT field. Just to give you an idea, this relationship will produce some important projects, a flavor of these. First of all, we will start an exchange program with KISA that will help set up ICANN engagement efforts in Korea. Secondly, ICANN will have a presence in Seoul, where we will establish a customer service channels working with KISA in the Korean language to service the Korean community. Thirdly, as you know, the Asia-Pacific region speaks many languages, so we will pilot a language localization project to promote local language access to ICANN's policy development work in the whole region. And we can further broaden this to include education and outreach efforts. This is a tremendous step, and I hope we can continue to announce more collaborative efforts like this. And to celebrate this important progress with Korea, I'd like to invite to the stage KISA's president, Dr. Lee Ki-ju. Dr. Lee?
Okay. I'm Ki-ju Lee, president of KISA, as Shadi mentioned before. Buenos dias. Good morning, everybody. It is my great pleasure to be here in Buenos Aires, especially at this very beautiful time of the year. Well, it is very encouraging to see ICANN increasing its engagement activity in Asia-Pacific region. Along with ICANN's activity, Korea has been trying hard to contribute to the region by actively participating in international fora such as APL-IGF, APTLD. I'm very grateful to be able to announce the establishment of Seoul office today by signing this MOU between ICANN and KISA. I'd like to highlight the efforts of ICANN towards internationalization, and I hope this Buenos Aires meeting to become a good foundation for ICANN to become a truly a global and transnational organization to serve the global internet community. Korea, as the host country of 2014 ITU Plenipotentiary Conference, will continue to contribute and participate in the ICANN activities more actively than before. Thank you again for having me here today, and please share the energy of porteños, the great port people of Buenos Aires. Muchas gracias. Thank you.